Indiana lands another stud in the portal, Tayton Conerway from Troy. He played 2 seasons at Troy, listed as a senior at Troy. So I don't know the backstory here. I think he played a smaller level before getting to Troy, and then just kind of became a star in the Sun Belt. And I believe he has 1 year of eligibility left. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, Indiana fans. But Conerway was awesome, and we sort of got him on the radar last year when it got close to March, because you start eyeing teams that are going to make NCAA tournament appearances, and you do the back research on this. You watch conference tournament week. I watched the Sun Belt tournament, and this kid was just awesome. Like he just was killing in the 3 games in the postseason in the Sun Belt tournament. He had 18 points, 22 points, 21 points in those 3 games, and was just willing Troy to dominant wins en route to an NCAA tournament appearance. Then they got to the tournament, met Kentucky, and Conerway didn't have many answers. He wasn't awful. He had 12, 4, and 4, but didn't shoot the ball well from 3, and that was never really a competitive game. Anyways, just giving you how his season ended. But all in all, at Troy last year, he rocked 14 points a game, 5 assists a game, 3 steals. One of the better pickpocket guys in the sport. Started all 34 games. Couldn't make a 3, only 27% from 3, but pretty decent volume at 4 attempts a game. And won basically every accolade that you could win in the Sun Belt. He was on every single all-conference team, Sun Belt tourney teams. Believe he was the Sun Belt Player of the Year even at Troy. So what's your reaction? I know you guys have broken down Conerway a little bit before this commitment, but Indiana lands him. What's your reaction?
If it's going to work for Conerway at the high major level, I think being on an Indiana team where you're surrounded by Josiah Miles, Lamar Wilkerson, Tucker DeVries, 3 guys that can shoot the ball at a very, very high clip, I think that makes it work. He's an extremely good defender. He's the type of guy you bring in, you're looking for him, high energy, defense. You're just looking for him to shoot the ball at all, finish at the rim. He finishes at the rim well, but if he can develop any resemblance of a 3-point shot, this is an extremely good player. I think what you're looking for out of him, if you're on this team, and I'm curious, like your takeaway on this, I think he's going to come off the bench to Connor Enright. But there's also a world he might start. Like to say that Connor Enright's for sure the better player between the two, I don't think I believe that. I just think from a fit perspective, what like Connor Enright can shoot a little bit more than Tayton Conerway can. And I say a little bit because Connor Enright only shot 33% last year.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with me, the shots didn't go in last year, but from watching him in the Sun Belt tournament and even in the NCAA tournament, like he didn't shoot well against Kentucky, clearly. It might be weird for me to say, given the guy didn't make shots. I kind of like his shot. Like I'm just
Okay.
not all that worried about it, I guess. Like the volume's there. And when you watch him, like a lot of the threes he takes are tough, right? They're off the dribble, like self-creation threes. So I think the hope would be at Indiana, like you have him be your floor general point guard. Maybe the numbers look a little different because maybe he's not there to score as much on a team with Tucker DeVries and with Lamar Wilkerson. Maybe he becomes the setup guy and his assists jump from like 5 a game to maybe 6, 7 a game. And maybe the threes he takes are catch and shoot wide open threes now, playing off a guy like Tucker DeVries. I could see that happening, and I could see it really working. You are a West Virginia fan. You've watched a bunch of Darren DeVries basketball. How do you think Connerway is going to map to the system that Darren DeVries wants to play?
You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting Underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on, and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27.5 points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show.
I think he fits extremely well with everything else he's provided, right? One guy that Ralph compares him to all the time, by the way, is Javon Small, where he thinks he could have that Javon Small type of leap. To me, the difference is Javon Small could shoot at his other stops and then it just randomly develop a 3-point shot. But I could see him being the offensive, like, engine, I guess you could say, of this Indiana team, where he's setting up a Lamar Wilkerson, he's setting up Tuck, he's setting up Josiah Miles, so on and so forth. I think he could absolutely do that. I think he finishes well at the basket. Most importantly, because of how great of an offensive coach DeVries is, or DeVries, excuse me, um, we don't focus how great his teams are on the defensive end. Conerway is going to be the engine on that side, in the sense of like he's going to get stops. Like when they go to Mackey, I'm not saying he's going to shut down Braden Smith, but he's going to be able to guard Braden Smith. He's going to be able to guard Owen Meyer, right? Like when they go to some of these other schools, he's going to be able to guard the other team's best player and give an effort that gives you a chance on that end of the floor, which you don't get out of too many guards in the country.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I'm intrigued. I haven't watched as much DeVries ball as you have, but I know people like his system, believe in it in general, and I feel like a common theme of it, from what I've heard, is you got to have good guards. And I feel like Connerway is a very trustworthy floor general type here. He's a vet. He's played a bunch of basketball. He's put a smaller level team on his back to the tune of winning some really important games. And I don't know. I think there's a world here where what's best for Indiana is probably he's like the fourth or fifth option. But there's a world where maybe he's the second best player on this team behind Tucker, although Wilkerson's really good too. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the roles fall out. Like, what do you think? Where will he stand in line at the end of the year in terms of Indiana's best player?
Um, I think in terms of best, I think you're looking at the lower half of the top 10. Like I think maybe not yeah, like 6, 7, 8.
You think he's a starting point guard or no?
I think Enright's going to be the starting point guard just because
Really?
of like you have to be able to shoot to be in DeVries' system, and I think unless Conway has like a leap, like we're not aware of this offseason, I think it's going to be Enright. But in terms of most valuable, I think about Deuce Miles, or excuse me, Deuce McBride on the West Virginia team before he got the keys. Like when Sheboy was still there, and Deuce McBride, I believe he was only a freshman or a sophomore at the time, and he kind of came off the bench and he guarded you for 94 feet. And West Virginia fans are like, keep an eye on this guy. Like he can hoop. And then the next year he fully got the keys. I can see Connerway in that role where it's like the fan base is going to love him. DeVries is going to love him. He's going to be one of the most impactful, most valuable players. But in terms of the best players, I think Tucker, I think Lamar, I think Josiah are all like substantially above him in that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to watch. I love this class that Darren DeVries is putting together. We got more videos on the rest of the Indiana editions on the channel. Go check them out.